You're listening to Talk with Watch.
Welcome to Watch 50 Years Tells a Story. Our story begins in 1972. We were the first state-funded service for adults with intellectual disabilities in Tuolumne County. In the beginning, there were 8 individuals attending this newly established activity center. Today, we serve 162 individuals and provide services that increase self-sufficiency and support each individual's full participation in the community.
Welcome to Talk with Watch. My name is Amanda, and here today I have Gus, Andy, and Ashley. You guys want to say hi?
Hello.
Hello.
So today, and this kind of came from a couple of weeks ago, we had a really deep question, which was give us a time in your life that changed the person that you are today. And I got a lot of really good feedback from you guys. And so I wanted to kind of start asking some deeper questions to you guys. And the one that we came up with today was what are some of your biggest fears, some of the biggest stressors in your life, or things that trigger your anxiety? Okay, I know that's really a deep question, and it might take a minute to think about. But I know that all of us deal with that kind of stuff, and it's difficult, especially for me. Sometimes I have a little bit of a mental breakdown.
Oh, me.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Stress and anxiety is hard.
It was.
It
It
is.
is, yeah.
It is. It's very hard, and
Yep.
it's hard to deal with. So, who wants to go first? Does anybody have something off the top of their mind they want to talk about? So, Andy, what's some of your biggest fears in the world?
Trying to think. I'm trying to think. Having everybody yelling at the same time. It
Peop-
hurts my ears.
People yelling at the same time? Okay. Is that a trigger?
It's just because my ears are very, my ears are very excessive.
Sensitive? Yeah, 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 absolutely. Would you say that that's like a trigger for anxiety and stress? Yeah. Do you think it gets really loud here sometimes? Yeah.
That's why I always walk out of the room because it's a lot of people, you know, it's my ears is very excessive.
Mm-hmm. Sensitive. Yeah. Yeah. Well, do you guys have anything to add to that?
It's really hard when, especially if you're in a smaller room like the library
Mm-hmm.
and someone talks really loud,
Mm-hmm.
gotta remind them talk softer or so, because we're in a smaller room, so
Yeah.
they may not know.
Yeah. And I think that that happens often, where people just kind of barge into a room and then they are talking at their peak volume. And that's hard. Yeah. Well, that's a very valid point that maybe just loud noises are just a trigger for stress and anxiety for sure. Ashley, did you have anything else that causes a little bit of stress, fears, or anxiety for you?
My fear is like um height.
Heights. Ooh, okay. That's a good one. So, where did that fear come from? Like, when did you realize that you were kind of terrified of heights?
Well, I never been rock climbing because I'm always afraid that I'll fall.
Yeah. Yeah, have the same fear. Absolutely. You're putting all of your trust into somebody else that's holding onto a rope.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and
Have you ever been rock climbing, Gus?
no. No,
No.
I don't.
Do you have a fear of heights too?
Uh, um, the plane.
I'm sorry, one more time?
The, the air.
Oh, you're talking about the plane?
Oh,
Yeah,
like skydiving?
no,
Oh, just flying.
yeah, the airport.
Okay.
Flying.
Yeah, flying in airplanes is also a big stressor for some people.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Ashley, so did you have a moment in your life where you were really high up and you were like, I don't like this and I don't ever want to be up this high up again?
Um, I did an obstacle course once, and some of them are um high up, and didn't know if I would, even though where someone was holding my hand,
Mm-hmm.
I still am afraid of it.
Yeah. So one time I went to a camp that had a thing called, I think it was called a trust fall. But basically, you would climb a ladder 100 feet up into a tree, and you would stand on a platform, and you would have a cable that was attached to a wire that ran between two trees, and you were attached to that wire. And you would stand on this platform, and you would put your arms out, and you would fall backwards off of this platform. Yes, it's called a trust fall, and that made me realize that I don't like heights because I got up onto this platform and I crawled up to the edge of that platform and I looked over and I was like, I am not doing this. Yeah, super scary.
It is.
Yeah, heights is a big thing.
I've been on a house of the tree house.
Hmm.
I've been in one.
You've been in a treehouse before? Was it really high up? No? Not high.
All the way up. It's like from the stairs all the way up. Then I stopped and I get in it. Boom.
Hmm.
And it's now I'm not afraid of it. I
Well,
know some people are, some people are not.
that's good. Have you guys ever done zip lining or anything like that? Do you know what zip lining is?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
I've
okay,
been
okay.
on one.
I just didn't know if your guys' camp, Tuolumne Trails, had a zip line. Kind of seems like it would be a camp that would have a zip line.
I
I
where
don't know if they do, but I can find out 'cause I know the one who is actually in charge of it,
Uh-huh.
so I can email her and ask her.
Yeah, ask her if they've got a zip line. Because maybe, like, because I also think that a big part of fears is also attempting to conquer them. And if they have a zip line, maybe, Ashley, when you go to Tuolumne Trails this summer, maybe you could attempt and see if you can conquer your fear of heights. Who knows? I don't know. You never know.
We'll find out.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Well, Gus, what is some fears and stressors on in your life? What's something that's a big fear for you?
Fear, you give me a hard time. A house and this. And it's very hard for me because my uncle, he stares at me all the time. And
He does what?
he stares at me. He look at me.
Oh, he stares at you
Mm-hmm.
and you don't like that?
Yeah, and I don't want that because I'm trying to watch movies and TV and
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to concentrate. He he's a bugging me.
Okay. Did you ever think to ask him to stop staring?
I did it to my mom
Mm-hmm.
about him.
Mm-hmm.
And he using us.
Okay.
Get to us.
Mm-hmm. So have you thought to maybe separate yourself and go into a different room?
My old room.
Yeah, you could go into your own room. Do you have a TV in your room?
Yeah, I do.
Well, there you go. Then you could just hide away in your room and you don't have to, you could close the door on his staring eyes. Huh?
Yeah, I see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, but I could see that being very stressful.
Yeah.
I've had a few people that want to just sit there and stare at me while I'm talking, and it is stressful and it creates a little bit of anxiety. It's like having somebody standing over you when you're drawing or when you're reading or something like that. It's nerve-wracking, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't want someone to just stand next to you or stand and stare over you, right?
Why?
Yeah, I can understand that, Gus. How do you guys feel about that? If somebody's staring over at you or staring at you, you think that that would make you uncomfortable? Yeah, yeah. I got a lot of head nods. Nobody's really say. You guys gotta say yes. Yeah, yeah. It's that is very stressful. I agree. But I think that that stressor, you could easily fix it by just maybe going to your room. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it probably seems a little inconvenient, like why can't I be out in the living room? But
I
yeah, but Gus, you seem like a very happy person.
I
Yeah. Yeah. And so I think that you could probably separate yourself and still find the happiness.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Very, very cool.
Oh, thanks.
All right, Andy, back to you. What are some fears that you have? I think I asked you about a fear and you said that it just gets loud in rooms, and I think that that was more leaning into the stress and anxiety. But what's like a fear that you have? Could be afraid of the dark, you could be afraid of spiders.
Sometimes I sleep with the light on.
Sometimes you sleep with the light on. Hey, guess what?
You know the light I'm talking about, the closet light.
The closet
I use
light.
it for a night light.
There you go. Hey, guess what?
Okay, yeah.
I'm 33 years old and I use a nightlight. Yep. I don't like the darkness.
I don't need her.
Yeah, it scares me.
Oh,
I'm always afraid of something in my closet. That's my biggest fear.
When it's all dark, it's hard me to walk to my bed if it's dark.
Okay, so it's not necessarily a fear of what's in the darkness, it's a fear of running into something in the darkness. Okay. Has that happened to you before? Yeah. Have you fallen and hurt yourself a couple times?
Well, I fixed up my bed up earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was filling the bed first to get in it.
Mm-hmm.
I go
Yeah.
this way to get in it. And got myself nice and warm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Ashley,
Can we still tell you about our tournament?
yes, give me, yeah,
Okay,
give me
I'll tell
just
you
one
that
minute.
later.
Ashley, so you told me about a fear, but what's something that stresses you? It's an anxiety trigger for you. It could be like, oh, I'm running late for the bus or something.
Oh,
Um, it it like stresses me out when they don't when when the dispatch don't like put me on the list for going home.
Oh.
They have to keep adding me on.
Mm.
So but they should know my schedule that Tuesdays and Thursdays I go home,
Right.
and they don't technically put me on the list.
So is that something that delays the bus?
Um, they can still put me on,
Mhm.
but just as an add-on.
Right, not somebody that's like permanently on that list.
Yeah,
And so it's frustrating and stressful to you that you
Yeah.
have to be added on every
Yeah.
time. How long has this been going on?
I think just um I don't know how long, but it's been happening lately.
Okay. Do you think that this is something that we could call dispatch about and try to fix? Have you guys tried to do that already?
Um, I talked to my mom about it,
Mhm.
and
Oh, it's okay, Ashley.
eh,
I didn't realize that this was so stressful to you. Okay.
yes.
Okay. All right. So you talked to your mom. Did your mom call dispatch? No. Did your mom say that it just wasn't that not to worry about it or what?
don't worry about it.
Yeah, okay. All right. Have you thought to call the dispatch and try to fix it? Maybe you could grab your advocate. Who is your advocate?
Usually, it's my mom. Usually,
Okay. Well, actually, I know that we can do stuff to help you too. Do you have a supported living staff?
no.
No. Okay, okay, okay. I think that maybe we could talk to your advocate and see if maybe they, like you and your advocate, can call dispatch or something and see if we can fix that. No?
No, it'll be fine. 'Cause usually my mom calls because I don't know what to say, and
Okay.
So
That's okay. Well, I think you articulated your words really well here, Ashley. You told me exactly what the issue is, and that is that they're not getting your schedule right, and that it's stressing you out that you have to add on every Tuesday and Thursday. And I think that that can definitely be, I think that that can be told to them. I don't think
yeah,
it's a bad idea to maybe see if an advocate or
I think it. Depending on who's who's there at dispatch, and they're not like when that person's not like relaying the message or not thinking I'm not here, and because I ride the bus in the morning, so they should know
that you're still here.
I'm still here and going home.
Right, exactly. I think that maybe we can let me would you mind if I asked Felicia about that?
No,
You don't mind? Okay.
I don't
Okay.
mind.
I think that there might be something that we can do. Or at least put a bug in someone's ear and say, "Hey, is there anything that we missed? Is there some paperwork that she needs to sign or something?" I think that there's a way that we could get around it.
And
Yeah.
Yes, Andy.
I'm on the same bus with her
I know.
because
Sometimes.
sometimes if the bus, because the ones that used to take us home is not there, then someone else takes over. When I ride the same bus with her, and she was when she does exercise or something,
Mhm.
my sister goes to it too,
Yes,
and
that,
she,
and
they drop us off before
yeah.
they drop us
It-
off.
Not on the exercise day. Those days are fine. So I know I'm on the list.
Yeah, I know.
I just asked the driver, um, who's taking me to the gym, and sometimes Josh will say it's prob don't know, but then I asked Joe if he has me, and he usually has me.
I know.
So it depends who has me on their list.
Yep.
That's really awesome though, Andy, that you have the shared concern.
Mhm.
Because I'm disturbed and
I know.
about Ashley because I know how she gets very the same way I am.
Mm-hmm.
Like she gets upset sometimes. Sometimes I do the same way. I know how she's feeling, and I know how she is.
Yeah.
If she gets in not in a good mood, stay away from her. If she's in a bad mood, don't talk to her for a while.
Well, for the most
Oh,
part, though,
You-
Ashley is
you-
very, very, very kind.
yes.
I know she is because I know she's very kind because she's
Aw.
very fine to be around with.
Mm-hmm.
And I know how she is.
Well, Ashley, I think that we definitely. I'll ask Felicia. I wrote it down in my notes. We'll do it after the class.
Yeah.
And we'll just see if we can do something. If we can't, then it's no harm, no foul, right? But it doesn't hurt to see if there's something that can be done. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And Andy, I'm really sorry. I know that you wanted to talk about the tournament, but we are actually short on time. Okay.
I could talk to him about it.
We could, yeah, we definitely
Yeah,
can
next-
also save it for the
time I go
next
around. If I come back in here
the
again.
next podcast. Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for the answers today. I think that you guys yeah, I think that all of your guys' fears are extremely valid and all of the stresses I would be very stressed out about too. Okay. All right, guys. Well, let's wrap it up. You guys want to say goodbye?
Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. Thank you.
We interrupt this episode for a brief commercial break. Watch was founded in 1972 by a group of parents and teachers who knew that adults with intellectual disabilities needed support to live productive and happy lives as members of our community. It has grown over the past 50 plus years to now support over 180 people who live in Tuolumne, Calaveras, and Mariposa counties.
Come work at Watch. A job at Watch is important and meaningful. If you're interested in employment with Watch, please complete the application for employment and return by email rcarney@watchemail.com. rcarney@watchemail.org, fax to 209-533-0907, mail to 12801 Havasu Road, Sonora, California 95370, or you can hand deliver to our office at Watch Resources at 12801 Havasu Road, Sonora, California 95370. For information, you can call Ruth Carney at 209-533-0510.
Back to Talk with Watch.
Righty, we are back with Courtney, Terry, and Jamie. You guys want to say hello?
Hello.
Hello. So, a couple of weeks ago, and I already explained this, and I probably will for every group, but a couple of weeks ago we had a very deep question, and I kind of wanted to sort of carry on with that theme of asking more deeper questions about you guys, because we know that you guys really love your Special Olympics, you guys really love movies, you guys like your WWE and the parties and all that, but I think that I mean, at least for me, I get a lot out of talking to you guys really deeply and getting to know you guys deeply. And so the question today was, what are some of your biggest fears and what are some things that stress you out and trigger anxiety for you? And anybody can start.
Well, I don't have anxiety, but I have like depression.
Depression, okay. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, the medicine that I take for my depression, um, that can calm me down.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's the type of meds that I take. Um, so I I usually take my meds in the morning and at night.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Um, I just didn't like the fact that people are getting behind me.
Getting behind you?
Yeah, like when I'm at the chair, like during lunchtime,
Mm-hmm.
and people were like getting way behind me,
Okay.
and
Like, are you talking about just like standing behind you or?
like standing right behind me.
Okay. Have you ever thought to ask them to move?
Well, I asked them really nicely to please move,
Mm-hmm.
and they they kept doing it, and all of a sudden they didn't stop. So I got up off the chair and walked away.
You moved. Well, that's good. Something that's stressing you out, you kind of want to remove yourself from that, right? Yeah, that was something that Gus brought up in the last group that I just had was that he doesn't like people staring at him. And that's kind of similar. If you have somebody that's standing over you, that's kind of like, hey, could you go sit down? Like you're making me nervous right now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I get that. I totally get that. Yeah, very valid.
I mean I'm not trying to be mean to Gus, but um he doesn't know that I was staring at him, but I wasn't staring.
Oh no, he wasn't saying that it was you. He was talking just in general when people stare at him. He doesn't like it.
Oh,
Yeah, he wasn't saying I don't like it when Courtney stares at me. He didn't say that. He said I don't like it when people stare at me.
oh,
Yeah. Yeah. So he wasn't talking about you.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What about you, Miss Morrow? What's some of your what's a fear? What's one of your biggest fears, girl?
I like take walks
Well, that doesn't sound like a fear. That sounds like a way of getting outside. What is something that scares you?
in the dark.
You don't like the darkness. Me neither. That was also
Like,
brought
I'm
up.
scared.
Yeah, that was also
You
brought up in
get
the last
scared of the dark.
podcast.
I'm scared in the dark.
Yeah, I'm afraid of the dark too. I think all of us are a little bit afraid of the dark. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I sleep with the light off,
Mm-hmm.
and I was never afraid of the dark, but especially in the dark side, it doesn't really bother me,
Mm-hmm.
but it is what it is because when I turn out the light and my TV was off, I sleep standing up, and I try to lay down and put my head on the pillow and cover myself up. I was getting warm and everything, and I was tossing and turning, and I was my biggest fear is that I kept moving my head, and I wasn't thinking because I mean, I had a strange dream um about shaking my head, and it wasn't turned right.
Mm-hmm. So, Miss Moore, do you sleep with a nightlight?
Yes.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Me too. Do you sleep with a nightlight?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you sleep with a nightlight?
No, not really. I
No?
don't like sleeping with a nightlight. I just because of my sleep, I get well, like a long time ago when I had a sleep study, um, I was staying overnight at a hospital,
Mm-hmm.
and they put electrolytes on my head and on my legs and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and they're trying to get like they were testing my sleep patterns,
Hmm. Interesting. Okay. Cool.
and I had all the goops on my hair, and
Yeah. Yep.
yeah.
Well, Jamie, what's something that scares you? What's a fear of yours?
Thunderstorms.
Thunderstorms. Yeah, I know that about you. Yeah, you're really nervous about thunderstorms. What's specifically about thunderstorms scares you?
I like that. It's too
The
loud.
noises? You want to be a little bit
The
closer?
noise is too loud.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. Do you put in like headphones or anything?
What?
Do you ever put in headphones or earplugs or
Yeah.
anything? Yeah? And does that help?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I'm here, like Felicia turns on the TV, and that helps too.
Good, very good, cool. So you have some ways of getting around your fears, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, what's something that stresses you out? What's like an anxiety trigger for you?
My family, like if I don't know, like if all of a sudden somebody passes away.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's always very hard. That could be coupled in with depression too, right? When somebody passes away and then it causes you to be sad. Absolutely. Is there anything else that you can think of that might stress you out? For me, when I'm getting ready in the mornings, if I'm running late, that stresses me out. I hate running late.
Same here.
Yeah, I hate running late. And then I end up running out to my vehicle like 10 minutes until I have to be to work. I hate it. It stresses me out. And I'm pretty sure most of my gray hairs have come from running late. What about you, Courtney? What's something that stresses you out
Well,
or gives you anxiety?
what stressed me out is when I don't like it when people um I don't. What stresses me out is when I don't like when people calling other people your sister.
Oh, well, I mean, Courtney, that sounds like you can set a boundary up and say, please don't call me that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think that you could set up a boundary. And I guess the stress and anxiety question is more of like
I mean, I already have a sister because my sister is in Maui in Hawaii, and this person um kept messaging me on Messenger by saying, "You're not, you're not my sister,"
Okay.
and I mean like not in a good way, but in a bad way.
Well, that sounds like somebody setting up a boundary in their regards to you, right? So they're just saying that they don't like it that you call them sister, right?
Yeah,
So that's nothing to be upset about. It's just respecting somebody's boundary.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, is there anything else that you guys had or wanted to share?
Um,
I got one.
Okay, Miss Morrow has one.
Okay. I miss my mom. I'm sad. I miss my mom.
Mm-hmm.
It's up
Yeah,
there.
I know.
I'm scared.
Okay.
I miss my mom.
Yeah. A lot of you guys have lost family.
I
Definitely.
lost
My
a
mom's an angel now.
I know your mom's an angel.
It's up there now.
Mm-hmm. We've talked about this before.
I lost a family member that I have was close to me, and I was really terrified when it happened to me. I was scared and I was left out, and my parents left me, and that was ever since when I was a child. I was the only child in the family, but besides that, I didn't know how it. I I didn't know how it happened, but I miss them dearly. I love them dearly, but it wasn't meant to be because I'm their daughter. And there's a lot of stuff I have in my life right now.
I know all of us are going through something. Yeah. I think everyone has something that they're going through personally that
I
they're
got one more.
okay.
I got a brother.
Yeah,
Him died.
I'm sorry.
It's up there too.
Well, he's keeping your mom company. They're sipping coffee together up there. You know that, right?
I missed him.
I know, but it's okay to miss them, but miss the happy times about them, right? Yeah. They wouldn't want you to be sad.
No.
None of them. No, nobody's that's left this planet and has gone to heaven would want any of us to be sad that they're gone.
Yeah. Is it okay to call one of your friends brother?
Sure. I mean, if it's mutually accepted by both of them, by both of you guys, like if you guys are both okay with calling each other
Like,
brother and sister, yeah.
yeah, because I already have my siblings, which is my brother. I mean, I just don't want to be called sister, and um, but I already have a family that are close to me, and my brother lives in Las Vegas, Nevada,
Mm-hmm.
with my sister-in-law, and then my sister is in Maui,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all I have. I mean, no parents.
Courtney, I think that you're a little stuck on the sister brother and calling each other sister and brother. I think that what you need to do is you need to have a conversation with whomever it is that you are talking about
Yeah,
and just establish, is it okay that we call each other sister and brother or is it not? I think that that would alleviate a lot of your stresses that you're talking about. Because you brought it up a couple of times that you don't necessarily want to be called sister. And I think that maybe just having a conversation with that person would help. Okay?
okay,
Yeah, girl. Absolutely. Conversation can help in so many ways. Just talking about something with another person, about something that's bothering you, it can help a lot. I do it all the time. I do. If I ever feel like something's pestering me, like someone's calling me something, or they're in my personal bubble a lot or something like that, I definitely want to say something to them so that they know, right?
right,
Because we can't change what we're doing unless we know it's bothering somebody.
right.
Yeah.
Because I can't stand the drama, and I don't need drama in my life. It's just, I have been through enough,
Mm-hmm.
and it really tears me apart.
I know. Jamie, I felt like you wanted to say something. What was that?
I still miss Benny, but I remember the good times.
I miss Benny too, but you know what he's up there doing? Probably weightlifting. Or knitting. That's what I think of Benny. I think Benny's up there
Do you
either
ever?
doing some weightlifting or he's up there
And he's
doing
in a
his
better
looning.
place.
Yeah, he is. And he honestly, what I think is I think that we all have a Benny angel looking over all of
Yeah.
us. Absolutely. We
Do you,
do.
do you ever had sleep study?
No, I've never had a sleep study.
Yeah, I had trouble sleeping,
Mm-hmm.
staying up all night,
Mm-hmm.
watching a little TV and everything, and I wasn't like that because I was born sleeping, and I mean, I have like a sleep mask,
Mm-hmm.
and I use my eye mask when I sleep because um because the lights in my room kind of bothers my eyes all lately, and I keep getting dark shadows underneath my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying wait, I'm trying so hard to sleep well.
Well, seems like you're doing a lot better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm doing a lot better with my sleep all lately.
that's great. Well, guys, I think that we are out of time here.
Okay,
Any last minute thoughts? Anything? No? No? All right. Well, then, did you guys want to say goodbye?
bye.
Bye.
All
Bye.
right. Thank you guys so much for your answers today. They were wonderful.
We interrupt this episode for a brief commercial break.
Discover the creativity of the Watch Art Guild. Check out our ceramic fish and other creative ceramics made by art talented participants. We also have beautiful wall art painted by our participants. Our pieces were made with love and care by each of our participants. Each of our members strive to create unique quality art. Every artist receives an income from each sale. Every purchase you make shows how much the work is appreciated and loved. Thank you for shopping at Watch Resources Art Guild. You can purchase at artguild at watchemail.org. Art Guild at watchemail.org. Link in bio.
Back to Talk with Watch.
Okay, now we have Carol, Shannon, and Danner. You guys want to say hello?
Hi.
So we have a kind of a deeper question today. And that's just so that we can kind of get to know you guys a little bit more and get to know what's going on inside of you guys. So the question is, what is a fear of yours and what is something that stresses you out or triggers anxiety for you? Somebody want to start? Okay, Danner. What's one of your biggest fears? What are you afraid of? Bears? No. Birds? You're afraid of birds? Really? Why are you afraid of birds? You're afraid of birds because of is it their poop? You're afraid of their poop? Are you afraid of them pooping on you? No? Okay. So what else scares you about birds? No. Danner, what's a fear of yours? What are you afraid of? Bunny rabbits? You're afraid of bunnies? No, I'm talking about something that you're scared about. What scares you? Do you have any fears? You do have fears. Are you afraid of the dark? Yeah. Do you sleep with a nightlight? I do too. Yeah, I'm pretty afraid of the dark. Absolutely. Shannon,
What?
what's something that scares you?
On the let's see, a band.
That's not something that's scary. That you're telling me about things that you're gonna do. I am asking you, Shannon, what scares you?
Skunk.
A skunk. Okay, there we go. All right, what scares you about skunks?
He died that week.
They died down the street. Is it because they stink?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. What's something that stresses you out? Do you know what stress is?
My mom happy
Your mom is happy. Okay.
and my dad happy.
Okay. Kind of get the feeling that you don't have very many stresses in your life.
He good friend.
Probably not.
It,
Yes.
and mom called like April.
Yep.
And
You're gonna go and see your dad
then
on the
on
airplane.
the airplane to
Coffee, and you're gonna go and see your dad with the big horns. Mhm.
Barn.
Yes, ma'am. Carol,
Yes.
what's something that scares you?
A tiger.
A tiger?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever been face to face with a tiger before?
At the zoo.
At the zoo, okay.
Yeah.
Like where
What's up?
your dad goes to the zoo too?
Yeah.
Okay. So but was it like right up on the glass to you?
Yes.
Yeah, and
Yes.
did that scare you because you realized how big it was?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Is that your only fear? That can't be your only fear. Because tigers, I mean, although, Carol, I agree, I'm afraid of tigers too. I guess the question more so like, are you afraid of heights? Are you
Yes.
afraid of
heights.
the dark?
No.
I personally, I'm afraid of clowns. I don't like clowns.
I'm afraid of
Yeah.
heights.
You're afraid of heights. Okay.
Like high diving board, my legs start to shake.
Oh, so you've been on a high diving board before.
Yes.
Okay. All
Yes.
right. And so was that where you realized that you were afraid
Yep.
of heights?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I'll tell this story again. And Greg, you could probably edit this out. But I have a story of when I realized that I was afraid of heights. I went to a camp one time that had a thing called a trust fall. And you basically would climb a ladder 100 feet up into a tree, and you would get onto a wooden platform that's hanging over the tree, and you would stand on this wooden platform, and you would put your arms out, and you would fall backwards, but you're attached to a wire, so like you would stop, it would stop you before you hit the ground.
Yeah.
Well, I got up there, and I literally on my hands and knees crawled up to the edge of this platform and looked over, and I was like, I'm not doing this.
And did you do it?
No, I climbed back down.
Know what happened?
What happened?
My dad can't go into the cave. He broke foot.
He can't go inside the cave because he broke his foot?
Yeah, hurt dad, hurt foot.
Oh, okay. Did that happen recently?
The fault wire.
Okay. He fell into the water?
Yeah, hurt foot.
Ow. Okay. Is that something that you're afraid of?
He can't go into the cave. Can't go.
Okay. All right.
Not me. Can't go into the cave.
Carol, what's something that stresses you out or causes anxiety for you? I know there's a couple of things at the top of my mind that I've seen you get stressed out about.
I can't remember.
Okay. So, what about when you ask to go to get fit and they don't have room? Does that give you anxiety?
Yes.
And that stresses you out?
Yes.
I've seen that a couple of times. And what do I always suggest that you do? Go for a little walk, right?
Go for a walk.
Stop and smell some roses, some flowers. What's something else? Is there anything that's going on at home that's been stressful to you or has been giving you anxiety? And it's okay if you don't have an answer for that because that just means that you're doing great at home.
I'm doing great at home.
She's doing great at home.
Yep.
Fantastic. Right on.
Yep.
It's awesome. Well, thank you for your share, Carol.
No problem.
Danner, what's something that stresses you out? Do you know what stress is? Anxiety? Yeah. What's something that stresses you out? Your dad? Your dad stresses you out? Really? How so? How does he stress you out? Does he sometimes maybe rush you? No? Okay. No. What about anxiety? Do you get stressed out from loud noises or Are you afraid of heights or anything like that? Does that give you anxiety? No? You're just a happy dude, huh? Yeah, okay. Shannon.
And my dad, he needs a band
He's in a band.
and he play the
He
keyboard
plays the keyboard.
and play horn
Okay.
and then put 10 keyboard,
Sounds like a very talented guy.
a band.
Yeah. Well, I feel like this might be hittering out a little bit. Did anybody have anything else that they would like to share?
No.
No?
I have peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
You got a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yep.
Right on. Sticking with those soft foods, right?
Yes.
Did you want to tell anybody, or did you want to tell us or the podcast about what you did last week? What happened on Friday?
I got 2 of my teeth out,
Whew.
and I got stitches, and I had to eat soft food.
Yeah. And Carol, right before, I think on Thursday, when you and I talked about it, I feel like you were telling me that you were really nervous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You had a little bit of anxiety
Yep.
about it.
That's what. Yeah.
Yeah. But so what ended up happening? So you went in, you saw the dentist. Did they put you to sleep, right? No.
They did it without anything.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was. Yeah.
Okay, so you were awake.
Yes.
Okay. But did they give you like laughing gas or anything?
No.
No. Did they
It is with a needle.
numbed it?
Yes, they numb it.
Okay.
And that's what I'm afraid of is the needle.
Right. But then once that happened, right? Once the needle was gone and they got in there
They
and
numb it.
did you feel anything?
Yes.
Did you feel pain, I guess is what I'm asking. It was probably just them pushing and pulling, right?
It's pulling.
Pulling.
It out.
Mm-hmm. But did it hurt?
A little bit.
A little bit?
Yes.
It was probably it's really nerve-wracking when you are awake and you have somebody pulling on something in your mouth.
Yes.
I so agree with that. I had my wisdom teeth taken out and I was awake when they took my wisdom teeth out.
I wasn't.
But
They took 2 of my wisdom teeth out, and I was asleep.
oh goodness. Lucky you, because you know what they do with
What?
wisdom teeth? They break them in your mouth and then they pull the pieces out.
Yeah, I did.
I know, right? It's nuts. It's absolutely crazy.
You know, I got 2 of mine out, and I didn't know that's what they do.
You are so lucky because I was awake and I definitely,
And no,
it's hard. Yeah.
and you know what?
What?
It can eat food. It can hurt teeth.
Yeah, you've told me about that. About quinoa,
It can eat food.
your llamas, because you live on a llama farm.
Yeah, it can eat food.
Can't eat food
It can hurt teeth.
and her teeth, yeah. Well, Carol, are you doing better now? Your gums are a little painful,
Yeah.
a little sensitive,
Yeah.
but everything else seems to be going okay.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad. And honestly, girl, getting those teeth pulled out was probably the best thing that could have
Yeah,
happened for
'cause I
you.
got an infection.
I know, girl. So
Yes.
now you can live a healthier life.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, did everybody feel like they got a chance to talk?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Do we want to say goodbye then?
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you guys for your shares and your answers. All right. We've got Ashley again, Angel, and Daniela. You guys want to say hi?
Hi.
Hello. Right. I've kind of briefly explained the purpose behind the deeper questions, but I'll do it again. So a couple weeks ago we had a deep question. And I felt like we had some really good responses out of that. And so I kind of wanted to continue on with that theme and start to ask you guys some deeper questions because we know you guys do like Special Olympics and we know how much you guys really love the movies and you're in WWE and all of that. But there's something else that's going on with you guys that's a lot deeper, right? Like what has made us who we are and like what are the things that encompasses us and why we act the way that we do, and why we project ourselves to the world the way that we do. So that's kind of where the questions are coming from. So the question today was, what is one of your biggest fears, and what are some things that stress you out or give you anxiety? And anyone can start.
My biggest fear is, well, one of my biggest fears is being alone,
Being alone.
being
Yeah,
left behind.
I relate to that.
And um like the stress and the anxiety is I don't like loud noises or when people yell.
Mm-hmm. That was brought up in the first group, was that just when it's very loud in a room, it can cause a lot of anxiety and stress.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I might not show it a lot, but yes.
Yeah. I've noticed that you eat primarily in the kitchen. I try to avoid the great room at lunchtime because I don't like how loud it is. So you and I, we're kind of like, we're always in the kitchen together.
Yes, I pretty much go wherever Monty goes,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
like a lovesick puppy.
So going back to your fear though, the fear of being left behind or alone. Like what are you meaning, just like alone
Just
in
in general, like I've had friends in the past that said said that they're like family to me and that I am everything to them, and then out of the blue just drop me.
hmm Yeah, that's
And I have abandonment issues.
okay. What where do you think that came from?
I've just been abandoned by a lot of people,
Okay.
and I have a lot of trust issues because of all the guys and people I thought I've trusted.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Okay.
I've just been abused in so many ways, especially sexually.
Yeah. Sorry.
I'm trying to be inappropriate.
No, it's okay. That's kind of like the point of the question, though, is to get to know you guys in a different way than just the general surface level questions, right? So, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that that happened to you.
I might act all big and bad sometimes, but I'm, I'm a total softie.
Me too.
I might act like, well, I don't care what people think of me, because technically, yes, that is true. It's not an act. I really don't care. But deep down inside, no matter if I don't care or not, it's still gonna hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, you're still human, right? We all are.
I'm not a machine or an alien.
Exactly, yeah.
Even though my brother said I was an alien when I was adopted.
All right, Angel, what about you? What's a fear that you have?
I think my fear is being alone too.
Mm-hmm.
I was adopted and felt like I was easily discarded as a baby. Ron and Ricky Woodall came along and changed all that. They didn't know what they were getting into, and I, of course, it's their first child, and she has a disability. How do you handle that? Growing up, my mom and I weren't that close. I mean, we were close until I became a woman.
Mm-hmm. You're talking about your adopted mom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love my parents to death.
Mm-hmm.
They can be smothering
Yeah.
and overprotective.
I could imagine that being more of a problem than if it was parents with of their birth child. Because you were adopted, they're more protective of you because they picked you, right? They got a
That's the
choice.
special part.
They got a choice to pick who they wanted as their child. So I can understand that.
And then 3 years later, they had my brother.
Yeah.
And then my other brother.
Were they adopted as well? Or no, they
They
were
were biological.
okay. But you were the first.
I was the first.
Yeah.
And then the firstborn son that they had, Isaiah,
Mm-hmm.
we were all close when we were little and with our cousins. My mom and like 4 of the other aunts in the family they all had babies in the same year.
Wow.
Yeah. So they were
Wow.
all really close.
Yeah. I
And
can
I
see
kind
that.
of felt left out.
Yeah, I could see that.
They'd make fun of me.
Oh, that's messed up.
Yeah. Well, they were mainly it was just boys. I mean, my aunt had 2 sons, I had 2 brothers. And I think it's because they didn't understand me and I didn't really understand how what they were doing or how they
hmm
connected.
Yeah, I think that there's like obviously there's going to be a little bit of a separation problem. I mean, was any of your other family members intellectually disabled?
I don't know if you remember Mike Newman.
No, I don't think so. I know the name. The name sounds
Yeah.
very familiar.
My Aunt Debbie took guardianship over him when he
Okay.
was I don't know, 20 or 30.
hmm
And he lived with her. They moved him up from a camp
hmm
that he was living at. And I tell you he was very easy to love.
Yeah.
He was like a part of the family, like my Aunt Debbie's son.
hmm
Because he lived with them.
Yeah.
So she became a nurse
That's awesome.
not long after that. And she delivered babies.
That's fantastic. What a way to kind of make a full circle to it. Daniela, I think you were just called to the lobby. Girlfriend.
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
And I was still at my parents' when I was 50. No, 49. Sorry, 49. And it was hard because I was silenced a lot.
Yeah.
Um, and it is difficult because how I felt like I couldn't talk to them.
hmm
They didn't really understand how to deal with, my thought process. So my mom was always telling me, when you talk to somebody, you got to give them an example of what you're talking about instead of just
Like the full context of
Yes.
everything. Yeah. Yeah.
I had a hard time in school with math, and my dad would try and help me, and then he'd get so frustrated I'd just cry.
I'm sorry.
But the good part about it is I'm now on my own, and everybody in the house likes me. I'm getting married.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's exciting.
I just found out the other day that you and Daniela are roommates.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that, but it totally made sense as soon as somebody told me that. I was just like, oh yeah, now I can see that.
And I've heard people say, "Oh my gosh, you guys are great together."
hmm
They see me just encouraging her, and yeah, and we love swimming. We're both in Special Olympics swimming, so
It's awesome. Yeah. It's such great exercise too, swimming.
Yeah.
And it gets out a lot of stress and
It's a lot of
anxiety.
stress and anxiety.
Yeah. So speaking of that, so we heard some of your fears, and they're very valid, especially welcome back. They're very valid, especially given your history. So with that being said, what are some of your stresses and anxieties? What are some things that might trigger that?
Not being heard and understood.
Yeah.
And towards the end, before I left, it's like I was walking on eggshells. And I shouldn't have to be fearful or concerned about how my parents feel.
Yeah.
And I'm a people pleaser. It's hard.
It is hard.
And other people in my life have taken advantage.
Well, I know of a friend that you have that definitely could help keep you on track with maintaining that backbone. Yes.
I have a gift.
She definitely has a gift. Yeah.
When I mean I have a gift, there is a certain thing that I did on her, and she was my first victim.
Oh.
So I told her to close her eyes because she was having trouble. So I told her to close her eyes and count and breathe 5 times. She breathed 5 times, and I told her to tell me when she was done. So she said, done. I said, okay, clear your mind. Tell me when your mind's cleared. She said, done. I said, imagine your life with Robert. So she did. And I said, and then she told me what she imagined. And then she smiled. And then, okay, we're going to do we're going to do it again. I said, okay, close your eyes, count, breathe 5 times. Tell me when you're done. She said, done. And I said, okay, let me know when your mind is clear. And she said, done. I said, imagine your life without Robert. Well, she did. And then she realized that she wanted to be with Robert. And then she goes, by you doing that gave me the chills. I'm like, I didn't even know that would work. And I did that on Monty too.
Sometimes it is.
I asked Monty to imagine his life with me, which it was funny because he's all, I imagine Angel walking you down the aisle and then one of my best friends walking me down the aisle. And I'm like, babe, you're already
I was
gonna
gonna
be
say
there.
he's already gonna be at the altar. He's not walking down the aisle.
And then what really warmed my heart is I asked him, I said, imagine your life without me. He's all, and then like 2 seconds later, he's all, babe, I can't do that.
Aww, that's super sweet.
So
Sometimes I think that exercise would be really good for people to do often because I've faced it many times in my life where you don't know what you had until you don't have it anymore.
It's kind of like a second way of hypnotizing somebody, but not actually hypnotizing them.
Giving them the experience of not having that individual in their life anymore. Yeah, I get
It's
it.
just like, like if I did it on myself, I couldn't even imagine my life without it.
Right.
To be honest, I couldn't imagine my life without the people that I have in my life, especially staff here or just people in general that like they really support me. Like, be you.
Yeah. Be who you are.
And that's the kind of advocate I have chosen, and she's chosen for me to be at home. It's an inside joke. She gave me this kind of mother role. So I guess it's kind of a practice for when I am my own mother of a child.
Yeah.
Whether I adopt or if I find a way to have my own. And it's just a funny inside joke, and it's
like having a kid without having a kid.
Yes, I have a 50-year-old daughter. And we just sit and laugh about random things, and it's just like, one of the reasons why I love Angel and I really care about her is because, yes, we might tiff a little bit, but you know what? We don't sit and linger our anger towards each other. We take a few minutes to gather our thoughts, and then we come back and we're like, okay, I'm sorry that I said this, or I'm sorry I did this, and it's like same back and forth, and then we just go about our day. Why can't everybody else be like that?
I know. Well,
everybody's the same. Everybody has their own way of taking care of certain things, but
yeah.
No.
I have a friend, a good friend, that her and I used to beef all the time. And it didn't last very long. We would always like realize that we were being ridiculous, and then we would come back together and be like, okay, we're friends, blah, blah, blah. But I still have that friend. She's still my best friend. And it's because we don't let things linger on our minds. If something is bothering one of us, we will talk to each other about it, and we don't let it affect our relationship.
Feedback.
Yeah. And it's also, you shouldn't allow things to affect your relationships with people that are super. If a person is important enough to you, then you'll find a way to work it out.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, here's a kick in the pants. Ashley and I went to high school together.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
We've known each other since freshman year.
Wow. And what year did you guys graduate?
We graduated 07.
Yeah.
I graduated in 2009.
Ashley and I have been through a lot together.
Yeah.
As Billy Ray Cyrus says, back when I was a boy,
Yeah.
I took her to prom.
Oh.
Nobody wanted to go with her, so I'm like, you know what? Actually, you're my best friend, so you know what? Will you go to prom with me? And she goes, about time someone asked me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet. Do you guys have a picture from it?
I'm not sure if I still have pictures because of all the moving, and I'm pretty sure somewhere she does.
I do, yeah.
Would you mind bringing it in so that I could see?
Yeah.
I would so love that.
Yeah.
I would so love to see a prom picture of you guys. That would be so cool. But you guys just went as friends, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We
That's
never dated. We
No.
were always really good friends.
that literally like warms my heart to hear because I had a friend that did that for me in freshman year because I didn't have very many friends and I had a friend that asked, well, it was literally like a week before prom. I was just going to go by myself. And we were sitting on the bus together and I was just all like, who are you going to prom with? And he was just all like, nobody. And I was all like, yeah, I'm not either. And then we like looked at each other and we were like, do you want to go to prom together? Like, but I think that that's really cool. That's very,
Just
very, very cool.
friendships. Some friendships are toxic, some friendships are not. You know, and just the friendships that you can have, whether it's from birth or from elementary school or from high school. You know, it's amazing how, you know, you can keep in touch with that person.
Yeah.
And I think with us having disabilities, we are more empathetic or have empathy
Mm-hmm.
for other people,
Yeah.
and we understand each other.
Yeah. I definitely have seen that for sure.
I mean, we all had almost the same teachers in high school.
Mm-hmm. I think that there's also something to be said about being bullied because the last time we had this podcast, I talked a little bit about myself being bullied, and
There was a lot of there was a lot of bullying going on
yeah,
in our high school.
yeah,
Yeah,
me
there
too.
was.
Yeah, and
It felt, oh, I'm better than you. No one's better than anybody.
right, yeah, no one's
Why
perfect.
can't you be yourself without like I'm better than you and you're just
Yeah, why can't you be yourself without trashing on somebody else? Yeah. But because I was bullied, I think that it made me a more empathetic person, like what you were talking about, Angel. We don't have a whole lot of time, and I haven't heard much from Ashley, so I wanted to give you a couple of minutes to talk. I know that you, in the previous group, you had discussed some of your fears and anxieties. Um, and one of your fears was heights, and we had talked about that. And then you had also talked about the transit system, which I did go ahead and I asked Felicia, and unfortunately, she said that her hands are tied, but she did say that Dan has tried multiple times for you.
Yeah.
And she did say that it's something that they are actively working on.
Yeah.
So don't think that it's just an issue that's been pushed to the side. It's something that is getting worked on. Yeah. Does that make you feel a little bit
Yeah.
better? Okay, cool. Did you think of any other fears or anxieties while you were out there hanging out?
No.
Did you have anything to say about what we had talked about here?
I'm good.
Okay, all right. Well, did you guys have anything else? I feel like we could talk for hours about this topic, and eventually you guys are going to squeak tears out of me, and I don't want that.
like I did like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Daniela did. She squeaked a couple of tears out of me because what you said was so beautiful.
When you're a trans girl, you know, just trying to live your everyday life and you have people in your ear making you feel like you can't be who you are.
Right.
Like I recently went through a tragic, and this has never happened to me before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I said this 2 weeks ago. I don't even remember how long ago the basketball tournament was.
Oh, yes, we did talk about this. About
I did.
Monty?
No,
No.
it has nothing to do with Monty.
Oh, okay.
So we had the basketball tournament,
Mm-hmm.
and I changed in the girls' bathroom. Nobody was in there,
Right.
and one of the ex-coach's mother, she goes, did you change in the girls' bathroom? And I'm like, yes, I'm a girl. She goes, no, you're not, Dustin. next time I catch you in the girls' bathroom, I'm gonna call the cops on you. I wanted to ask her to give me her phone, and I was gonna do it myself.
Daniela, did you talk to anybody about this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I
she
talked to I
Oh, thank
talked
God.
I
Yeah.
talked to
Hotel
coaches,
Good.
and
And what did they say?
this is the kind of criticism that people like me go through.
But did your coaches at least have your back and
Well, I mean, yes,
say that they were going to take care of it?
yes,
Okay, good. Okay, that's all that I
yes.
care about is that
Yeah.
something needs to be handled on the other end with that person because that's not okay
That's the
to
first
talk
time.
to you about
That's
like that.
that's the first time it's happened to me, and ever since then, I've been just stressed out and deep anxiety, depressed,
I've seen
and
it.
it's just
I've seen it wearing on you. I'm
it
sorry.
scared the living crap out of me.
Yeah.
As a roommate, it was because I was standing right there. And then before that, we were playing a game. She's sitting down, closing her eyes, and I just glance over, and she's starting to shake. I'm
I
like,
had a seizure before that.
so we get her the medical help, and it turned out to be fine. But I've never seen her react that way to anybody's comment because usually, I mean, she told me straight up when I met her, yeah, Dustin, now you're gonna get to know Danielle.
Exactly. They're two different
And
people.
I can honestly say, and there are people that, don't agree with me. A big part of it is my family.
Hmm. I wanted to correct what I said. I said it's like two different people. You're not two different people, Daniela. You are the same person as Dustin and Daniela, but you are two different auras. You're two different auras, is what I meant. You harbor two different energies.
Her energy. Daniela swallowed Dustin.
I will swallow Dustin whole. All right, guys, that was my reminder that I got to end this. Okay, this was a very good conversation. Thank you, guys. Thank you all for sharing. I really, really appreciate it.
Anytime.
Yeah, and hopefully you guys feel good about it, about this conversation. Okay. All right, guys, you guys want to say goodbye? Interrupt this episode for a brief commercial break.
Do you love to thrift shop? Then you must check out our thrift store, Good Stuff, at 10A Peachtree Way, Sonora, California, 95370. Our hours are Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sunday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's a treasure hunt every day at our thrift store, Good Stuff. Gently used, gently priced. Donations are accepted whenever the store is open. Occasionally, we are overwhelmed with your generosity and need to limit donations. If you need to be sure we are accepting donations, call 209-588-0550 before you come by. Your donations and purchases provide jobs for people with disabilities and funding to support Watch's services. You can take a virtual tour on our Watch website at watchresources.org. Again, watchresources.org under the Businesses tab, link in bio.
Back to Talk with Watch.
Okay, welcome back to Talk with Watch. Greg Janetta here, sitting in with Cord and Andy. And good morning, you guys. Once again, how you doing?
Good.
Okay, so the topic that we chose to talk about today is things that stress us out, things that trigger our anxiety, things that, for some people, aggression is a big anxiety trigger. Confrontation is a big anxiety trigger. So just a couple of examples there. Cord, let's begin with you. Let's talk about some of the things in life that stress you out. Do you have any examples of things that that give you anxiety? What's something that stresses you out?
I'm gonna go outside and cool down.
So you like to go outside. That's how you deal with stress, is you go outside to cool down?
Yes.
Maybe take some walks. Is there any examples like of specific things that stress you out, like just in life? You know, for a lot of people, money is a stressor, family is a stressor, friends can be stressors sometimes.
Yes.
So sometimes interacting with your friends can be stressful.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah. So a good method you use to cool down is to just get outside and walk around, and that's the perfect way to respond to those types of situations. So that's really good. Andy, what about you, buddy? Can you talk about things that I know you have certain trigger words, certain things in life that trigger you, make you a little bit maybe unhappy or depressed? Did you want to talk about something that maybe gives you anxiety to where you have to maybe go have some time to yourself? Can you think of any specific examples of things that might stress you out a little bit? Maybe something.
Everyone yelling in the building.
Right.
Hurts my ears. My ears are is very
sensitive.
Bingo.
Yeah. And throughout the course of a day here, there are at least a handful of people that come up to me and say the same thing. So you're not alone. When it gets too loud, too chaotic, that's a huge trigger for a lot of people. A lot of people get anxiety. Yeah. And so that's a very common anxiety to have, Andy, is chaos, when things are chaotic. You know, so
yelling and everything else.
what about when you're around large groups of people? Like maybe when you go out to your basketball tournaments and people are in the bleachers and it's really loud. Does that bother you sometimes? No. So so in those types of situations, that doesn't give you anxiety then? Because
it wasn't enough people there anyway. Just like it was like half and half.
okay, so it's just the smaller crowds you're okay with.
Yeah.
When you're playing basketball there for your Special Olympic team, that doesn't bother you.
We got in first place in that.
Good job. Yeah, and you said you wanted to talk about that tournament really quick. Tell us what happened.
This time I'm talking about the bowling tournament. This time.
Oh, the bowling tournament.
We I got up at 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock in the morning.
Ready. Yep. We had to be there at 5 to catch the bus. So Eric picked us up. He picked us up at our house for me and Nika. The birthday girl is today. And you're not gonna believe this. Here we go. Okay. Here we go.
Tell us about it.
All parts of this one. We won 3 games in a row.
Wow. Good job.
We didn't lose at all.
Excellent.
And for our team, we came in second place.
That's not too shabby. Second place, nothing to hang your head about there. Second place. Very good, Andy. Very good.
We got in second place in the bowling tournament too.
Yeah. Well, very good. And so it sounds like one of your big triggers is when things get too chaotic, too loud around here, huh? And that's, like I said earlier, very common. There's a lot of people in here that have those same types of anxiety triggers. So, Cord, is there anything else you can think of? You mentioned sometimes your friends trigger for you. Is there something else you can think of that stresses you out? Maybe something that happens in this building when you come here to watch? Do you ever get stressed out, or you do get stressed?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you?
I'm the same way. He is, but he's stressed. I'm the same way as he is.
Yeah.
Because
sometimes people get, when they want to talk to you or something, they get really close to you. And I know that that's something that puts some people on edge, including myself. We all have this bubble around us.
It doesn't bug me if some people get close to me. It doesn't bug me at all.
Okay.
Because it doesn't bug me at all.
That's good.
Some people want to be close. It doesn't matter to me because it makes me stressed if there's everybody talking at the same time.
Yeah.
And That's one way to make me stressed. Everybody talking at the same time.
Yeah. And one of the ways that we deal with it here at Watch is to go take a walk. You guys are allowed to go freely outside.
Yes.
Take a walk around the building a few times.
That's what I just did. I
Breathe.
went around about. Last time I was outside. The last time I went around the tables. You know where you wait for the bus.
Uh-huh.
That's where I went around that one.
And out in the garden area, remember, but remember, if you guys are stressed too, you can go sit in the garden area out there in the sunshine. That's a great way to de-stress.
Yeah, I know.
Very good.
Well, I know I'm not stressed now.
Very good.
If it was like everybody talking at the same time, that does make me stressed.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you guys for talking with me and opening up a little bit. Again, I've had a chance to talk with Cord and Andy today.
That second place medal.
And you got your second place medal. Congratulations. Yeah.
On basketball and bowling.
Very good, you guys. Okay, that's going to do it for this week for Talk with Watch. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.